Throughout this semester, I learned a great deal in this course. It started out with me quickly gaining a base understanding of what ethnography was, and progressed to the point where I feel as though I could practice it in the correct manner. If I did not conjure a deep interest in this course early on, I could not have learned quite as much as I did. Similarly, I would not have been able to learn as much during media ethnography if it were not for my group members. I had the privilege of being part of a group of individuals who were interested in learning in the course, which made the entire course more rewarding for all of us. As it stands now, we have completed the course, and we are now winding down the class and bringing it to a close. During this class, I believe that my personal place within the story of the course was as an interactive pawn that was evolving throughout the duration of it. I think that my views were constantly changing, and that can be seen in my posts, as there were new ways that I talked about the subject matter. I was constantly being pushed by my classmates and learning from them in our class discussions, as well as trying to push them and open up their views just as they did for me. I thought that because this class was interactive and constantly evoking conversations between the students, we, or at the very least I did, was able to gain a great deal from the course. I wanted to say that this course proved to be very rewarding for me personally. I went into the course thinking that it was just going to be a simple and almost pointless summer class. It quickly proved me wrong, and I was able to gain a lot from the class. I think I could have performed better at times, but I think that overall I did a solid job with the work I did and the knowledge that I was able to gain. The four most important readings for me mostly came early on during the course when I was learning the most information in bulk. Our Mother's Grief discusses how the main flow of society oftentimes assaults and discriminates even against the way certain mothers take care of or give attention to their families, who more often than not are women of different racial backgrounds. I was able to relate to this in the ways that we see on TV, social stereotypes, or even on the news, how women can be stereotypically discriminated against simply because of their race or their genetics or their ethnical backgrounds. These women may not seem normal, so society bombards them with assaults because they refuse to fit into the norm. Another piece that I connected with was Bonnie Thornton Dill's piece, which builds on the readings by encompassing the concepts of differences due to genetics, for lack of a better word, really, and as well as variations in cultures and personal disabilities. She does so by discussing how things must be altered and changed in order to exploit the differences that exist from person to person, especially between a black or a white person. A third a third reading that I was able to relate to was Morris Opler's, who was a firm believer in the fact that all of the reoccurring themes in ethnography helped us to understand different cultures collectively, including the ones that we ourselves were a part of. This relates directly back to the definition of ethnography, which is the scientific study of a culture in order to gain a better understanding of it. I was able to relate to this directly because this was the definition of this class for me. Because even though I was learning about how ethnography can teach you about your own cultures, I was also learning about self-ethnography and how it forces you to look at your own self and your own cultures that you come from and how they've shaped you into the person that you are. And fourthly, I believe the example of the telenovela in Brazil shows just how local television can be more accurate than, say, broadband or generalized TV that's, or for lack of a better term, Hollywoodized. When productions such as these are made, it gives people more to actually make a personal connection with. Pastina studied a rural town in Brazil, and while he was there, he realized how little the people of that small town were able to relate to the urbanized television shows. However, the people of Macambria were able to relate to one of the more specific shows that Pastina mentioned, which was Ore do Gado. The show Ore do Gado is about a very similar lifestyle to that of the people in Macarenia, which allows for them to relate more and in turn be more obliged to like it more. I was able to relate to this because I realized that when we as viewers can directly relate to some aspects in a program, we are much more inclined to tune in more. Pastina did a great job showing this concept in his study. I believe that anybody who says that all television shows are representative of their views and values and morals is either lying or simply naive enough to actually believe that that's even possible. I believe that all television is full of stereotypes today, as well as most other forms of media. Programs and programs are built around them, around stereotypes, in a way that I can only hope does not truly represent most people's morals and values as a whole. Overall, I was constantly being challenged to observe myself during this class and attempt to use my knowledge I was gaining to help make myself into a better person. And you can't ask for a better reward from especially summer class. Thank you.